But I tell you what, that was, you know, our experience of doing that. I remember rappelling down to the cave, to the bottom of the cave with a big rope, and this rope was made out of nylon, and I guess nylon and wet water and mud it's not a beautiful combination. You can't hang on to it. I remember I had that thing wrapped around my leg, my arm, and I would still be sliding down. And the only way that I could stop it is by biting on the rope. But at the time that we were doing it, it didn't bother me or anybody. It was so excited. I mean, it was really exciting. But the funniest thing happened was about a month later, I was laying in bed back home. I had this panic attack of, oh, what could have happened? I could have got stuck on inside that little hole, and I tell you what, I was laying in bed and I could feel like I was at 10,000 feet. I was so scared to fall off. I actually had to get up and go and walk around, shake it off. But can you imagine if you had the technology, the funds, the knowledge, the manpower to go back to where that cave is? It's called, until to this day, it's still called MacArthur's Cave. Can you imagine if you had the funds, the technology, the knowledge, and everything to go through that cave and get all those spare parts? Now remember, the way the military packed their parts was with kind of a grease, that really thick grease where it doesn't rust. Can you imagine how what the worth of those aircraft and parts are today? Even if you just make that cave into like a museum. Oh man, it has always been my dream to someday go back to that and, do it right. Hire an engineer, especially with the boring, tunnel boring machines that they have now. I bet you it would only take about a day or 2 days. One of the bloodiest war battles in the Philippines was fought in Cagayan de Oro, and there were, until today, it is very well known to local fishermen not to drop their anchors, not to go fishing there, because you'll be snagging your line or your lure to a lot of sunken PT boats, zero, Japanese zero airplanes, from both sides, Navy ships, Japanese boats. And they're not in a very deep water either, ocean, salt water. But every time I see this little military museum up here in Wadsworth on Russell Road, every time I see that, I dream of having something like that back home. In fact, there was one incident where a German freighter, this is back in the 90s already, there was a German freighter that anchored out in the sea, waiting for the port to clear so they can go and dock and deliver or pick up, their freight. So they dropped anchor about 2 miles from offshore, and about a day or 2 days later, they were given the okay to come into the port and dock and, either deliver or pick up their freight. So they started hoisting the anchor, only to find out that their anchor was stuck on something. They couldn't pull the anchor up. And those anchors are, I don't know, about $500,000 a piece. They're not cheap. And I guess the story was the captain of the ship asked the company, say, hey, what do we do? So the company corporate says, pull the anchor as hard as you can and leave it. So they pulled the anchor as hard as they can, lifting the back, the stern of the boat like this, and they just waited for about 2 days. Then one day, at about 4 o'clock in the morning, everybody was asleep. Everybody woke up because next thing they know, they go woof. The whole anchor lift up. There was a PT boat, or not a PT, there was a barge, an American-made Navy barge that the anchor got caught on. And so that's what they got snagged. What happened next was very interesting. The local people came up to the boat with their torches, cutters. They cut the barge to pieces and scrapped it. And everybody got drunk. That's the same port, Del Monte, Philippines. That's the same port where my dad jumped off ship. I don't know why, but World War II fascinates me. Alright, I got the cruise control resume. It is set at 66 miles an hour. But now it's only doing about 51. 94 is backed up. Really? Usually. Alright, she's gonna brake. She's gonna brake. She's gonna brake on her own. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, wow. That's pretty hard braking right there. Is that freaky or what? By the way, the after the braking part, then the cruise control cancels. Then I had to step on the pedal to get it going. I often thought about getting a barge, get a really big, powerful winch, and then drop an anchor to one of those, you know, sunken machinery, pull it up. Now those things are mostly covered in mud, and if you understand mud is very, very hard. It's very hard to get out because they create a vacuum. But one of the things that people do is they use like a water pump, a water pressure to take the mud out. While you're pulling it up, you have somebody with a water cannon and just try to remove the mud around. And also get like airbags. That would be so much fun doing that, right? Retrieving World War II relics. Resume the cruise control. So we are now down to 132 miles to Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Local time is 5:05 Central. We should be home somewhere around 8:30 maybe, without traffic. Holy smokies, look at that. Quit doing that, Sydney. You're freaking me out. Local temperature is 82 degrees. just thought about this. This truck is probably computing, I don't know, 40,000 calculations a second, right? I mean, literally, this truck is a smart truck. And as dumb as I am, I mean, I'm the dumbest of the dumbest. As dumb as I am, I can still outmaneuver or outthink this truck. Not to my credit, of course. I'm just saying the human brain is the most advanced, most superior calculating computer ever existed. And I refuse to believe that this brain right here just came out of nothing. And I mean, not came out of nothing. It was not design. It just evolution. No way. It's just no way. All right, she's gonna be braking really hard here pretty soon. Hang on tight. Hang on, hang on, hang on. No? Okay, I thought we were gonna come to a stop. There you go. It's kind of like giving, 10 monkeys a violin, drums, and a piano. Wait a million gazillion years and expect them to compose a Mozart music. It ain't never gonna happen. Holy smoky, look at that, look at that. Somehow the left steer tire brake, the left steer brake grabs a lot more than the right. So every time the truck brakes, it kind of want to veers left like this because the left steer grabs harder than the right. Welcome to North Chicago. Where's she going? I would imagine that Larry is probably somewhere in Indiana by now. Still averaging at 8.4. 8.4 miles to the gallon. That is very good mileage. Come on, Sydney, let's go home. The girls are excited to meet you. Can run that right lane. What do you think? Alright, we're approaching, this is 94. We're approaching Highway 41 North. Highway 41 North is as a highway. 94 is a toll road. We're gonna stick on the toll road. There are about 10 traffic lights on Highway 41, which, you know what, I really should be running 41 from now on, because I got an automatic. But I'm in a hurry. I want to go home. I don't know what the girls are planning tonight. We might go somewhere and celebrate Jackie's birthday. I'm hoping that they would have some kind of a, I don't know, some meat marinating, cooking it in the grill in the backyard. Best place to eat, right there by the backyard. Come on, Sydney, lay off the brakes. Oh, she canceled the cruise control. So that's 41 to Waukegan, and this one is a toll road. I'm curious to what happens if you go to curb a little fast. Yeah, she slows down. Yeah, she definitely slows down. Nice job there, Sydney. Nicely done. Well, everybody, I hope I did my job on. Oh, she's braking. She's braking. Isn't that the freakiest thing? So anyway, I hope I did my job on entertaining you guys and keeping you guys kind of occupied. Let me know if you guys have remotely enjoyed the stories. You can leave me your comments, your thoughts, like, subscribe, and share these videos. If you find them worthy of watching, maybe you'll find them worthy of sharing. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Johnny B. Goodyear. Peace.